CP3, Derrick Rose, Stephen Curry, Rajon Rondo, Russell Westbrook, Tony Parker. Names when you bring up the 2010 decade era, you think of the best point guards in the league. Well, there's one name that always seems to sneak under the radar in my opinion, and obviously we know he's good, but we are talking potentially, debatably, arguably, at some point in time, maybe the best point guard in the league good? I don't know, that's up for you guys to decide. You guys already know who it is, but before we begin the video, we need you guys subscribing, liking the video, and commenting down below who you would like to see a video on next. Now, let's go back in time and let's rewind the clock. Do you recall Deron Williams before his stint with the Dallas Mavericks in his hometown and before his pursuit of an NBA ring with the Cleveland Cavaliers? This was before the New Jersey Nets relocated to Brooklyn and a time when passionate debates about whether he was superior or inferior to Chris Paul might have landed you banned from all online forums at the time, including Reddit. Deron Williams remains a significant enigma of the 21st century in the world of basketball. I think it's important to acknowledge that injuries played a pivotal role in his rapid descent from stardom to a mere shadow of his former self, and all of this kind of occurred within a relatively short 2-year time frame. However, pondering the what-ifs is a common exercise when it comes to players who grappled with injuries, as we've seen with athletes like Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, Grant Hill, Derrick Rose, among plenty others. But Deron Williams was just so damn good, and it might not have been for too long, but nevertheless, the prime years of his career, he was the man. Like, to put into perspective, I would compare his physique. It was reminiscent of Eric Gordon. He had powerful crossovers, similar to a guy like Baron Davis, and to me it kind of approached the level of a guy like Steve Nash, and his offensive creativity was honestly on par with Chris Paul's. In many ways, Deron Williams seemed tailor-made for the evolving direction of the league, and interestingly, he earned All-Star selections only 3 times, but 3 consecutive from 2010 to 2012. And despite strong cases for snubs in 2008, 9, and I would say once again in 2013, the prime of his career, I just think it goes so underrated. In Deron's career year in the 2009-10 season, when we compare him to Chris Paul, he averaged around 21 points per game, 11.6 assists, 4 rebounds, 2.7 steals per game, which goes extremely underrated. He led the league in assists and steals per game, and he also shot around 48.8% from the field, 37% from the 3-point line, 85% from the free throw line, and he averaged just 2.5 turnovers per game, and he played 80 games. That is an MVP worthy season right there. On the other hand, Deron Williams averaged 18.8 points per game, 10.5 assists, 3 rebounds, 1.1 steals, but he shot a fantastic 50.7% from the field, around 40% from the 3-point line, and 80.3% from the free throw line. So he averaged 50, 40, 80, not 90, but 80, which is extremely solid with almost 11 assists. And he did average 3.4 turnovers per game, but nevertheless, 11 assists, 3.4 turnovers, you take that. And the one thing that goes extremely underrated, I think, he played all 82 games that year. So both him and CP3 were extremely durable, and we don't really see that in today's game. You know, a lot of guys are kind of resting, but nah, Deron played 82 games that season, averaged 50, 40, 80, while averaging 19 points practically and 11 assists. So it was a genuine debate at one point in time, I think. Like, obviously Chris Paul was the better player and he averaged better statistics and his team was better as well, but Deron Williams was no slouch. Williams had his best years with the Utah Jazz, however, he clashed with coach Jerry Sloan and was eventually traded to the Brooklyn Nets. In Brooklyn, Williams was supposed to be the man. He signed a lucrative contract, but the team's performances fell short of expectations. Remember, despite a high payroll, the Nets could have advanced far in the playoffs and faced coaching changes. There were chemistry issues and failed acquisitions of the likes of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett with Deron there. It just was all too much, and Paul Pierce and KG were way past their primes, and Deron Williams just didn't really fit with that core group of guys. It was just a lot going on. Even Chris Humphries was there, Gerald Wallace was there. That team was supposed to compete with the Heat, and they just weren't really all that good. I remember Nate Robertson lit them up in that playoff series, and I think the Bulls eliminated the Nets, and that was without Derrick Rose. Injuries would take a toll on Williams, and he struggled with confidence and even fell into a state of depression. Teammates noticed his frustration at his time with the Brooklyn Nets, but he often kept to himself during these difficult periods. Like, it got so bad that ultimately the Nets would have to buy out Williams' contract in 2015, and he had stints with the Dallas Mavericks and the Cleveland Cavaliers where he did kind of ring chase there, but however, no other team really was interested in Deron Williams. And he did struggle to find his place in Cleveland's system, especially alongside LeBron and alongside Kyrie. He was just way past his prime. Williams felt his playing style, it didn't really align with being a spot-up shooter, as he was used to having the ball in his hands, and that is completely fair. Like, how is Deron Williams supposed to adapt to playing with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, playing off the ball as a shooter? Not many guys could do that. Like, I'm sure if you did the same thing with DeMar DeRozan, Dwayne Wade even at the Cavaliers, Derrick Rose was there, Isaiah Thomas, like, it was just never meant to be in Cleveland, but who wouldn't want to end their career by winning an NBA championship? He did what he was supposed to do. Overall, I think Deron's career, it had its ups and downs, and he faced challenges adapting to different teams and different playing styles, but he will forever be one of my favourite players in NBA history. Sadly, loss of love for the game caused the downfall of Deron Williams in my eyes. Like, listen to this quote from Deron. "Being injured sucks. It ruined my confidence, not being able to do the things I could do because I was playing on two bad ankles so long. It just took a lot out of me. It caused me to be depressed and hate basketball at times." So I'll end the video like this. Deron, in his prime, was one of the best point guards in the league. I truly still think that to this day. Perhaps he was never better than Chris Paul, but nevertheless, one of the best facilitators, and he made plays scoring and distributing like no other. His Utah stint was certainly the best basketball of his career, and forever Deron Williams will go down as one of the most underrated NBA point guards in league history, that's for sure.